Another shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Another shot is gonna hit you with a mind overloaded. The bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave the accessories twitching. Remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Welcome to another Shot Podcast, where our opinions might be real, or it could just be the liquor talking. Sit back and enjoy another shot.
Oh man, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Shots Wednesday night open bar. The bar is always open, looking to get some conversation going. Love talking to people. You know, we don't talk about religion on here. The only religion we're worried about is the Whiskology. We are all bourbonites here. Swear on my life. Sometimes, if I had a freaking... I tell you what, everybody says a nickel, a dime. No, if I had a penny for every time somebody says, dude, you've had too much to drink. Ugh. But with the way things go anymore, it's like my friend Kurt used to always say, people wonder why he drinks. That being said, I will go ahead and drop the link down there if you would like to join me in some conversation tonight. Feel free just to click the link in the messages. If not, I can send it to you via Messenger or however else you would like me to send it to you. I'm telling you right now, hell of a week already. What's going on, Blue? My boy Blue. Dude, tomorrow night's going to be fun. I can't wait. Get some sports talk going. Kind of looking forward to things slowing down a little bit for Thursday nights, you know, with college wrapping up. You know, we got the championships coming up. It's going to be kind of nice just to focus back on the NFL, which in itself only has a good handful of games left. We are rapidly approaching the end of that little era. And I found myself last night, surprisingly, how many times on here have you guys heard me say I'm not the biggest fan of NBA basketball, but I switched over to Peacock last night just to check it out. You know, we just recently got it. And the very first thing to pop up going live was one of the teams I still follow and enjoy, and that's the New York Knicks. Them and the Chicago Bulls are my two teams. And it was the Knicks taking on the Celtics, which, again, you know me, I'm Irish, so I got a soft spot for those boys in Boston. If not live, you'll be on the computer. Geez. So that's therein lies the other fun thing. What? Oh, Mr. Lavender, how you doing, brother? Thanks for popping in and checking things out. The link is up top if you want to join us on screen, and we love a good conversation. Honestly, I think at some point, Dan, I already shot him a message too. You know, let's get a global conversation. I like that idea. But Blue, throwing it out there to you, buddy. I sent a message to Kat. She sent me some info. Guys, we have been trying to help our friends Kat and Blue out. As you all know, Thanksgiving night, they ended up still fighting with the insurance company. Thanksgiving night, on the way from dropping their kid off at work, unfortunately, Blue had to make a choice. He had 3 decisions to make: put the vehicle in a ditch, swerve into oncoming traffic, or smack the deer that had decided to walk out in front of him. You know what? He took the lesser of all evils. He put that bad boy in the dirt. And I'm talking about the deer. But unfortunately, all roads lead to disaster, and they are now vehicleless. And for anybody that knows anything about these two, they are constantly running. That is their thing. They're constantly taking friends to and from work. They're taking their kids to and from work, plus, you know, everyday life, on top of the fact they do. Let me put it this way. You could call Blue and Kat at 4 o'clock in the morning and say, I'm in the middle of downtown Pittsburgh. I am hammered out of my mind. They'll say, hey, we'll be there in an hour. That's just the type of people they are. And right now, they're in a very precarious position without a vehicle. So again, we were lucky the other night to have Kat. She was able to join us. We was able to hook her up with a ride. Obviously, I went on a little late tonight. So yeah, the chances of getting them a ride home isn't going to happen. Unfortunately. But guys, we are trying to raise money to help them out. Not even to buy a new vehicle. We are just trying to raise enough money to get them back on the road. Because anybody that knows anything about insurance companies, guys, they are the devil a lot of the times. And damn, if you're late on that bill, they either drop you or they blow your phone up. They send you messages. They want their money when it's time. But I tell you what, when it comes time for them to honor their end and pay out, there's always an excuse. Well, we got to do this. We got to do that. We got to look for this. We got to look for that. And in their case, unfortunately, there was an absolute screw up. And unfortunately, the insurance company is now fighting with them, making claims that Miss Kitty Cat says she has proof are false. So, guys, I kind of got a goal in mind. I'm thinking along the lines of, you know, seeing as how the garage I work at, Kat brings the vehicle into, trust me, I know a lot of stuff that has been going on, a lot of the stuff that she has really been trying to fight and hope for. I've come up with a certain goal that I think would be obtainable to get them back on the road and moving. And especially with Christmas coming up, with, you know, New Year's coming up. I mean, they're in a bad spot. And Kat has busted her ass in the past for multiple reasons, trying, you know, doing little fundraisers ourselves, trying to get stuff put together and going. So it's only fair that we try and return the favor for this young lady. You all know and love her on here. She, you know, she is the voice behind the camera. We refer to her as Lady Jesus herself. Um, and I'm pretty sure there's enough of us. We can go ahead and get the word out there. I've got all the information. I'm just waiting for the go ahead to start posting some stuff. But guys, I'm not gonna lie. I think the goal, and we started this the other night on TikTok too. The goal I'm aiming for is going to be $5,000. Surely amongst all of us, we know enough people. I mean, at the end of the day, $10 is nothing. You know, some people do 20. You know, whatever you feel, but any little bit helps. We are setting a goal only because, like I said, I know what needs worked on. I know what needs fixed, and I know the prices of these particular items. So, yeah, that is the goal. I have, like I said, I have all the information. If you know anybody or are willing to contribute and help this young lady and this handsome young man out, let's get this ball rolling. Let's show people that humanity is still alive. And you know, that brings me to my first little thing that I've got to bring up. And I want to thank my wife for kind of, you know, I saw some inspiration in what she said. And when I say inspiration, I meant topic of conversation. You know, with the way things have been going lately, you know, everybody's struggling, everybody's hurting, everybody's, you know, we're not going to dabble on the politics side of it, but come on, man, at some point, you know, there was a promise made that prices were going to drop. Well, are we not almost 2 years in now, or not? We are at 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. You know, what the hell's going on here, honestly? But yet, all that being said, you know, we know the gas prices are going up, food prices are still going up, and you know, especially around the holidays, it's the biggest pain in the ass. This is like the worst time to be asking people for money. But I had something happen today, and it's not the first time it's happened, but you know, it kind of made me think after what the missus had said. You know, normally you don't hear about mechanics um, getting tipped. You know, we're not in that spectrum of conversation when it comes to tips. But I'll tell you what, it melted my heart today when over the radio I heard I can't remember who it was, but either way, it was somebody up front radioing back to me that, hey, somebody's on their way back to talk to me. I'd worked on their tire. They had something they wanted to talk about. Okay, I'm thinking at first, you know, is it a sensor? Is it, you know, it's going to be work related, right? It's got to be, did I mess up? Did I, you know, what? So I'm kind of wondering what's going on. And I go out the door and I come around the corner and here comes this other young lady. And she walks over and reach up and hands me a $20 bill and says, "You're the one that worked on my tire. I wanted to say thank you." Wished me a happy holidays and went on about her way. You know, again, it's not the first time. You know, believe it or not, it happens kind of frequently. I mean, it's one of those. It really does melt your heart that, you know, when people come in there, they're because nobody likes going to the garage. Nobody likes going to see the mechanic. It's always like worst case scenario. So at the end of the day, when something like that happens, you know, it's an awesome feeling. It's a good feeling. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's been a couple times where we've had people come in and tip both of us that were working on there. You know, we've had people buy us lunch. We've had them bring in breakfast in the morning, you know, buy coffees and stuff like that. And I'm telling all this to my wife, and she's like, that's so weird to me. And I'm like, why? Why is it honestly weird? They're tipping you for doing your job. Okay, so what's the difference between what we're doing and, say, a waitress? Now, a lot of you can, are immediately jumping to, well, waitresses and waiters don't get paid a whole lot of money. They live off their tips. Understood. Well, hello, Miss Jordan. How you doing, sweetness? Haven't got a chance to talk to you in a minute. Um, like I said, the waitresses and waiters, they get tipped. What about tipping your bar or not the bartenders? How about tipping your barber? Nail salons, you tip the pizza delivery people, the door dashers. Is it really that uncommon? Is it, no, like I said, I mean, it's just, especially during the holidays when things are like so rough right now. I don't care if it's, we had one person give us like 4 quarters. It's the only thing they had in their vehicle. And I said, here, just, but at the end of the day, still, we don't ask for it. We don't want it. It's been a day, but put together Lego flowers. All right, girl. Well, I'm probably going to be on TikTok in a little while. So if you want to maybe show it, that'd be awesome. Miss Jordan is a fantastic artiste. She's shown some of the stuff that she's, colored and put together, and she's an arts and crafts type of girl, and we love her for it. But I still couldn't get from her why she thought it was so weird. At the end of the day, you got to think, what we do. I mean, we're still servicing people. We're still, we go in there, we fix them. We, especially right now, we got so many people coming in. Of course, I'm not going to lie. A lot of them are, a lot of it is snow tires right now. And people waited till the first snow drop before they wanted to come in and get it, instead of getting a little preemptive. Hey, we know it's coming, so let's go ahead and do it. No, they've been waiting until it absolutely dropped, just like it did on us Monday. That was, or was it Tuesday? Was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Yeah, I woke up yesterday morning, stepped outside to go to work, and it was an absolute whiteout. I think we got about 1 inch to 2 inches. It was incredible. But then again, I've said before, guys, I'm a snow person. To me, it was amazing to step out there and just see like this winter wonderland, I call it. And, well, so do a lot of other people, but oh well. I'm a geek like that. I love stepping out. I think snow-covered landscapes are the best. I think they're the prettiest. They always work out the best. They're calming. I'm that guy that, when I wake up on my day off and I look outside, it's just blistering cold. There's snow all over the ground. Man, that's the time I want to go. I want to get the coffee going. And, I want the big hearty breakfast. I want to be able to sit down and relax and look outside and just enjoy. What do we got? Sweetheart, I'm telling you right now, do we want to show snow? I guarantee there's a lot of people around here, right? More than happy to let you, I'll send some your way. But bear in mind, it's if I can ever get these messages to, there we go. I'm greedy when it comes to the snow. I love it. And you know what the best part of it is? I'm really surprised that my daughter has not wanted to go outside and build a snowman. Instead, you know what she did last night? The first thing, folks, she did when she got home, I've got a routine. I come home, I go to the bathroom, get my shower, and then on days off, I sit down and relax. I try and get stuff caught up on here, and I just kind of I'll take advantage of that one night. Last night didn't get home till late. Everything ran behind. I'd planned on actually going live because, like I said, we're trying to get this whole fundraiser thing for Cat going, and it's not been the easiest. It's been, I'm not gonna lie, it's been more than just a pain in the ass trying to get it going. But I will say this: I've got people saying, you know what, just let me know what they need. Hey, I work in a garage. I said it already. And Blue Cat, if you're watching right now, I'm telling you guys, you've got a lot of people who are already stepping up to the plate. You're going to be back on the road quicker than you think. So that's why I was, I was pushing for it so hard, earlier on in the show, just to kind of get it up and going. And God Almighty, there is nothing. It's just been, again, it was one of those days for me too. Jordan, trust me, I know. I've been working very long days, very long hours. We have two main sales. We have one called the tent sale, and then we have the fall winter sale. It falls right at around Thanksgiving. The tent sale I was told was going to be a nightmare. Was it busy? Yes, but it wasn't nearly as bad as what it is right now. And I'm telling you, it is taking everybody's ounce of energy to not want to literally rip each other's heads off. And it almost came to fruition today. It was not fun. You're still here, brother? All right. Well, like I said, there's been some questions at work, so you guys might be pleasantly surprised here very soon. And like I said, have Kat look at her messages and reply back whenever she gets a free chance, please. The joke at work anymore between me and Hooper, you guys have all seen him on here multiple times. I'll look at him, especially right when we're both, I'm pissed off or he's pissed off or both of us are pissed off, and like, bourbon tonight, and he says every night's a bourbon night. And that's where the whole bourbon night came about. So my joke earlier about, our religion here is whiskology. We're all bourbonites. It just kind of fit. It worked, That's why I was very much looking forward to doing this tonight because, honestly, I could sit down at any point, but man, just I bought my time. I waited and I held on. And there is nothing better after a stressful day, and this is in my world, than sitting down with a good scotch, good whiskey, a good bourbon. No mixes, nothing like that. Just a simple 2-finger. Sitting down, talking with you fine folks. It just doesn't just warm the soul. It warms the heart, warms the belly. I'm telling you right now, especially my Jefferson, absolutely love this stuff. But yeah, it was just, amongst all the stress, the anger that was being thrown all over the place today, to have something like that happen where the young lady came in and, she came back out. She wasn't even there for it. It was a drop off. And she did it after the fact, and just I couldn't believe it. It was so. Yeah, trust me. There's still humanity out there, guys. We're not all doomed. I don't think quite yet. People are still fighting. And good glass of wine here. Sweetness. Now, if you allow me to go ahead and finish this glass. I'll tell you what, we might not be able to do it in person, but I'm going to join you for a glass of wine tonight. That is not a bad idea. Here we go. Let's go ahead and the bat phone rang. So let's see what we got going on. All right, sweetness. I'll try and get that going here ASAP. So I now have permission, guys. I will be posting a QR code. And like I said, we are very much trying to that is the main topic for me tonight, is letting you guys know we are trying to pull everybody together, and we're trying to help Blue and Cat get out of this rut. I mean, it of course it would happen. That not only were they doing something to help somebody, it had to happen right at the holidays, the busiest part of the holiday. Good Lord, everybody knows from Thanksgiving until the 25th, it is balls to the walls. We're running all over the place. I mean, it's money's going out. I mean, like crazy. Ugh. So for this to happen to them, and then to beat all, they brought their backup in. It needed inspected. And son of a bitch, if it didn't fail, unfortunately for them, it's a reason why it's their backup. All right, got you, brother. Appreciate it. So, like I said, guys, let's keep the good vibes going. You know, that's something we've always promoted on here. Do we get into some conversations that, you know, do we get on here and vent ourselves? But at the end of the day, you know, it's kind of like when we used to do what we called our last shots. We always tried to leave the night on a positive note. We needed something, and we haven't done it in a while. And honestly, I think it needs to be brought back out. Whether it be, you know, Dan being on here and, you know, promoting his new book, which I did find out has been released. So book 2 of the Universal Chronicles, this one is Eclipse. So I am absolutely looking forward to it. Of course, I need to find time to get off. Let's see what we got. That's probably why it happened, just because of the holidays. It's ridiculous how it worked. You know what? It's kind of like when, you know, it seems like, you know, when you're running behind, you're late for, you know, to be someplace. That's when it seems like the traffic's at its heaviest. You're out of milk. You're running to the store, you know, because you need it for the morning. You need it for whatever you're cooking, and they're out of milk. Somebody else just bought the last one. You know, it's always. Has anybody else noticed how it always happens at the worst possible time? Now, is that poor planning on our end? I'm going to say no to that one. You know, it's like the person that, you know, ends up, what's a good way to say it? You could be one of the best drivers in the world, but you find that black patch of ice, you don't see it there, you slip, you go in. There's a reason it's called accidents. You're not intending for it to happen. You know, it's something that falls into place, you know, at the wrong time. And I'll tell you what, anybody that knows anything about, you know, my part of the world, the deer runneth heavy here, and especially at this time. You know, hunting season's kicked in. Ooh, what do we got? The cat is playing with the dog, by the way. It's cute. Isn't it ironic, Bobby Ryder? Don't you think? Alanis Morissette wrote a song about it. Hit song at that. Oh, man. I mean, I'm not immune to it either. You know, it's like I need a good example. How about bills time? When it's time to pay the bills, first of the month, when things are coming out. For me, especially, it always seems like that's right when, you know, uh, where's the money, or they, like my mortgage, they've upped it, because of the, oh, we're behind on the interest. So we have to go up to catch up to it, and it's going to stay like this for a little while until it's like, Jesus God, right now. I'm sure there's a lot of you out there that knows that little shtick. All right, Miss Coffee. We're going to put that off to the side because I did promise her I was going to join her for a glass. Guys, we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, like I said, I'm going to drop the link again. I'm asking anybody that would like to talk. They've got something on their mind. I mean, hell, you can even just put it in the messages, I guess. Just let me know. That's Wednesday Night Open Bar is exactly that. We leave it open talk for everybody. And since we are talking about, I'm trying to get past my camera. There we go. We're trying to keep the vibes going. We're looking for, the good, the good cheer right now, especially it's holiday, goodwill towards men or women, however you want to look at it. Guys, this is the Southern Outlaw Band with Good for the Soul. We will be right back.
Good for the soul. Good friend. Good music. Good whiskey. Good for the soul. Bob and Jay was usable. It was time to take them to school. The long old woman was dancing around. So I looked over and then he yelled, hell yeah, it's good for the soul. A good friend, good music, good whiskey, it's good for the soul. For the soul. Good friend, good music, good whiskey. Damn, it's good for the soul.
Good for the soul, good for the soul. That is our boys, the Southern Outlaw Band with Good for the Soul. Quick shout out to our boy Arliss. Arliss is he's going through some health issues, folks. He is needing he's needing a solid vibe. So here's to a quick recovery, brother. Hopefully you get the good news that you need to hear here real soon. And unfortunately, we were supposed to get together this weekend for the annual Santa Crawl in Youngstown, Ohio. There was last year, it was the first year we did that, it wasn't exactly the very first time we've hung out with the Outlaw Band, but it was definitely one of the more memorable ones. Yours truly made the near fatal mistake of not eating ahead of time. We literally ran right from home to the event, got signed up, and before we even left the first place, before the place even started, couldn't help it. I jumped right into the spirit of things. I was already 3 beers, 2 shots in, so by the time we left, that was within 30 minutes of showing up. Yeah, I was already starting to feel damn good. Thank God the first place we went to had food, and yes, Miss Coffee, it is good for the soul. Now, so during the break, Jordan, sweetness, I was looking in the fridge, and apparently I had finished my other bottle. So I am going to, I said I wanted to join you for a glass, and I'm going to allow you to pick one of these two. My favorite wine is Apothic. And it doesn't matter which one, but it has to be red. I love all the reds. So I got 2 different ones that I don't think I've tried yet. And I want you to go ahead and let me know which one would appeal to you. The first one I have to my left here is Apothic Crush. And it says it is a luscious blend that exudes a silky sophistication. The wine has an abundant notes of dark black fruit, like black cherry and raspberry, with aromas of caramel and milk chocolate. Enjoy our signature soft red blend. To my right, we have Apothic Dark, an inviting blend that showcases layers of deep, rich flavor. The wine is full of black cherry and plum notes with aromas of lightly roasted oak. Enjoy our unmistakable bold red blend. Now, if you were to pick one of those two, which one sounds the best? I kind of got my eye on one. I want to see if we're kind of in sync on this one. Hopefully she's still on here. Like I said, which one? One of these two. I just know I'm thirsty. If she doesn't pick in the next couple minutes, I will be picking for her. Tis the season. Tis the season. I'm telling you right now. Here's the fun part about wine. You guys all know me as a whiskey bourbon guy. I've said this a million times. I'm also a beer guy, as evident by all the different lights I have behind me. I'm not opposed to sitting down with the missus, though, in the evening. Believe it or not, red wine, a lot of doctors will actually say, it's good for you. It helps level out the sugar, as long as, again, you don't go overboard with it. You still have to kind of keep the dark one. They both sound good, but the dark one. Yes, ma'am, we will go with Apothic Dark then. We shall put this one back. This is for a later time. But I'm not, the problem with doing that is me and her have, I like wines, but her and I, she's more of a semi-sweet to sweet. And she also, I'm not a big fan of like Pinot Noir. And, I don't like light. I like red. I'm not a white wine. I'm a red wine. Not all reds, obviously. Trust me, there are certain wines out there that are just absolutely I'm sure all of us have sat down and those of us that do like to get into the wines every now and then, have sat down and tried the that $10, you saw at the gas station or you saw it at the grocery store, and it turned out to be one of the worst things you've ever tasted. Now I'm trying to remember there was one. It was called like Tranquility or something like that. The one lady that recommended it to Sarah, she says, I drink this before I go to bed. It makes me feel good. And I'm telling you right now, it is by far one of the worst. It was so bitter. I couldn't get past it. Thank God it was free. But that particular one, yeah. I was joking around with a buddy of mine when I found this. Now, especially in the fall and winter time, summertime's one thing, but in the wintertime, fall time, that's when I start getting into like the darker music, the darker movies, Believe it or not, there is a little bit of goth behind these eyes. You sit me down with a good bottle of red wine and a vampire movie. I know this sounds really weird, guys, but that's just me all day long. I mean, love it. I'm going to tell you right now, everybody has that one famous, playlist. Well, one of the songs on my list is Cry Little Sister. I don't know. Maybe I can be weird like that. So anyways, when we're walking through the store, one of the local liquor stores, and I'm like, oh, look at this. It's called Apothic. It's got that, kind of like the gothic type writing on it and everything. My inner geek came out, and I was like, dude, we gotta get a bottle. Gotta try it. We're gonna let this breathe just for a second, sweetness. And I tell you what, it was probably one of the best investments. I mean, it doesn't break the bank. It averages out usually around $15 to $20 a bottle, which isn't bad. It's not like I'm trying to buy, a 50-year, 60-year bottle of, I don't know. Yeah, let's just go that way. Cabaret, like I said, I think that's one of the reasons I love doing what I do, because I mean, oh, here we go. Yes, The Lost Boys. Phenomenal movie. Phenomenal. I'm not gonna. I even like the sequels. I thought the sequels actually they didn't do half bad. The third one wasn't that great. It was entertaining, but it wasn't that great. The way they, spoiler alert, the way they killed the head vampire in that one, and it was, as it turns out, it was the head vampire. Like, not just like in the first one where they killed off a head vampire. They killed off pretty much the one that created, I don't know, all of them. They made it out like he was the guy. But what I liked was, it looks like he's getting, Corey Feldman's character is getting ready to eat it. It's over. He's beat. And he reaches up and he grabs what looks like, I guess a water pipe of some sort, and he breaks it loose, sprays the vampire down. And the vampire just kind of looks at him. He's like, what the fuck, dude? He's like, really? That's what you got? And next thing you know, you hear Corey Feldman start going through, Nomine Prate, Fili, Spirit de Santa, he starts blessing the water. So instantly turning it into holy water. And I'm like, they've never done that before. I love it. Threw everybody for a loop. And I thought, now that was definitely a way to finish that off. That was a more original way. It's like, okay, normally you go to the church, you get your holy water. In this particular case, he created Holy Water on the fly. And if you've watched the second one, you find out that he was actually ordained online. That's how he was able to do it. And I guess, they're not very picky when it comes to need to add that to my playlist now that I think of it. Hold up. Hey, run it, girl. Okay, so Dan, yes, what's up, brother? Dude, there are multiple covers of that song, including a reboot by the original Gerard McMahon. And he did it for the second one, kind of gave it a little more up. It went from being goth to a little more emo. It was a little more upbeat. It had a whole techno vibe to it. It was awesome. What is going on, GB? How's things going, brother? I'm going to have to hit you up after the show. I got a few things to send you and see what your thoughts are and if you got any ideas that might help, because you've done this sort of thing before too. Both versions on my playlist. Got it. Like I said, that's definitely a song that's been covered. Oh man, one of my favorite versions, and Jordan, you might like this one, sweetie. It was by Seasons After, which unfortunately, since that song came out, I turned around, I got I went out, bought the album, fell in love with it. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I heard this version of "Cry Little Sister" at a strip club, and I immediately went up to the DJ. I'm like, "Who is this?" And he kind of, he showed me who it was, and I went out and immediately bought the album. Like I said, not long after they disbanded, it was horrible. The whole album's good, but that version of "Cry Little Sister," loved it. Excuse me a second, folks. The bat phone is ringing. Of course. So on that note, Miss Jordan, let's do this. Let me see what been busy, still busy working on some images currently. As this images for the book 3, which you last time we talked, you were in the process of starting. I guess when you got a 9-book series, I mean, there is zero rest for the weary. All right, Jordan, you ready for this, girl? Let's see what we got. I am very excited about this one. Ooh, that's a little darker than normal, but at the same time, it's got some interesting little notes to it. All right. Oh, you see, I'm going full send. All right, guys. I've yet to be disappointed by Apothic. So, girl, if you happen to see this out and about, you go to the local liquor store or you go to the grocery store. You have to point out the metal cover. What metal cover are you talking about? Are you talking about a book or are you talking about a metal cover of a song? Oof, that definitely has a very robust scent to it. So here we go, sweetness. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's do this. Cheers. Whew. That will warm me up in a hurry. That could quickly become my favorite one. And I am in the process, believe it or not, of trying to get a hold of some of the local wineries around here to have them come in and actually do a tasting here at the bar. And I've actually been in talks with one in particular. I've got an idea for a red wine flavor. I just think it would be cool just to, slap Whiskey Willie on there or put another shot, something. That is definitely one you want to drink to sit down, relax, and just calm for the evening. And one of the things I was talking about, like I said, what's cool about red wine, um, like I said, doctors actually recommend drinking a glass of red wine in the evening, just one. It's good for, if you have high blood pressure, it's good. It helps levels out your sugar. Um, believe it or not, it's good for the kidneys. I guess, when it's made from grapes, shocker, right? Mm. I'm gonna have to have the missus try this. What do we got here? J is preferable. Okay, sweetheart. I promise you, I will go ahead and run with that from here on out. I do apologize. Can I just go ahead and call you Miss Cafe? I'm trying to think. I think there was a wine that I tried one time that it was supposed to be hints of coffee in it, like dark chocolate. I think there was supposed to be hints of coffee. It might have been an apothec. It might have been something different. But guys, I'm always looking for. Hello, sweetness. I should have messaged you earlier. Sorry, but I've been running like a chicken with my head cut off. I will make sure to get that put on the computer tonight, if not tomorrow. And we're going to post it. And we're going to keep running it, sweetie. Like I said, I've been in talks with some of the guys at work. Trust me, there's a lot going on. I got you, beautiful. I promise you, I will keep that in mind as well. It's like me, every now and then, I always think, there's a lot of people out there like that. Like, I mean, Kitty Cat's actual name is Katrina, which I think is an awesome name, but everybody calls her Cat. My name's William, and I got the short end of the stick. I don't know where the B comes in, but the short version of William is Bill. I would rather be called like Will, honestly, at the end of the day. I just think, kind of, I like that a little better than just Bill. Hey, what's your name? I'm Bill. You can have some fun, time to pay the bill. But then again, that's also, there's a negative, behind that one too. So, I mean, it's just, I especially don't like my middle name. And my son was actually going to be, see, I've got a suffix after my name. I'm the third. My dad was the second. His dad was the first, obviously. Connor almost got the fourth. And if it wasn't for my aunt, RIP, she said, you know what? I don't have to. I can let the name die. I'm the last of that line right there. So that's how my son got the name Connor. Kitty Cat, I'm telling you right now, sweetness, even you would like this one. Jay, good call, girl. That's I'm glad we went with this one. So like I said, if you get the opportunity, and I can get away with saying this on here, Make sure you check out Apothic Dark. If you guys see it, you heard it here first. I'm telling you, awesome stuff. Nicknames for names are a mystery for the ages, honestly. Half of them I like. Why is that a nickname? Oh, half of them I'm like. Sorry. I tell you what, thank God my name's not Richard. Because they had to get the worst nickname at the end of the day. I mean, I'd rather be called Chester. I'd go by Chet, something like that. Richard, how'd you like somebody just, every day you walk up, what's up, Dick? That's exactly, yeah. See, me and Dan are like right here, honestly, on that one. And yes, Dan, we can actually say that on here. Mm. The way TikTok's been going, I almost want to have a little fun with that one, honestly. Oh, I love when the bat phone rings. But you guys are more important right now. We will hold off on all that. So we are getting pretty close to wanting to wrap this one up, folks. We're getting ready to go on TikTok. Is there anybody out there that's got something going on that you want to talk about? Hell, we could talk about the holidays because you know what? Yours truly hasn't even gotten a chance to get out there and shop yet. And I've got a list of people. Oh, man, I'm telling you, it's just one of those. What would be the perfect holiday, shopping excursion for me? Drinking while you're shopping. Which, you know what? What's fun about the outlet malls that are nearby my house? They've got moonshine stands, they've got wineries, they've got all sorts of neat stuff in there, so I can literally drink while I'm shopping. I'd hate that. Like, I'd go by my middle name if I was named Richard. If you were named Richard, that'd be interesting. There's probably some guy named Richard watching the show or listening to it on Spotify or something right now going, what's wrong with Richard? Honestly, at the end of the day, I own it. Me personally, though, I mean, as much as I would hate that nickname, knowing my sense of humor, you know how much fun I could have with that? I'll try and keep it clean, guys. We'll keep it civil for this one, but I could think of at least 20 jokes right off the top of my head if my nickname was Dick. Twist your minds on that one, and I know for a fact when we got a wordsmith like Dan in here, I might have 20. That man's got 60. Easy. Yes, sir. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's thick. Oof. Weird thing to say after that conversation, but I'm talking about the wine right now, folks. I have never had a wine that is just, it's clinging to the side of the glass afterwards, and it's putting off this really neat. I wonder if this will work. Uh-oh, kitty cat, we're going to need batteries. So yes, folks, if there is anything, last call for the bar, anything at all you want to talk about. Hang on, what do we got? When does your tree go up? We don't put ours up until grandma's birthday is done. So when's your grandma's birthday then, if you don't mind me asking? Because traditionally, especially here, I don't think it's just here. Traditionally, you're supposed to put your tree up either the day after or the night of Thanksgiving. Our little light, sweetness. You know, the one I use to make our glasses stand out that we originally had hanging up here. Hey, it still come into good use. So at the end of the day, but for us, I had to work size. If I'm going to guess, it's one of those. I need a screwdriver to open up the back of it, so I'm not going to get on it right in this second. But I will definitely let you know. I don't think I have anything I can use to open this. But to answer your question, Jay, we always. This is the first time we've done this in a while where we actually got our tree up now. She did it the very next day while I was at work. Got you there. Around the 10. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, honestly, it's subjective. It's whenever you want to, really. But traditionally, I trip away sweetness. They're trip aways. You know, like I said, I've always known that you're supposed to start putting your tree up and your decorations up either the night of Thanksgiving or after. You know, the day after. Oof. But we've already got in your drawer. I will make sure to do that next sweetness. We've got a good chunk of our Christmas lights and well, not the Christmas lights, but we got the tree decorated. Especially here, I'd forgotten all about this. The tradition around here is to put it in the front window. So when people are driving by, they see the Christmas tree. That works best, guys, when you have a nice big, you know, picture window or you got a big bay window or something, you know, a decent size. I've got 2 regular sized windows side by side. So literally you get one window or the other. And if you put it in the middle, there's enough of a spacer in the middle that it kind of distorts it. So, I mean, it still looks great. But over the years, I've actually gotten a little bit more conservative with the way I was always that guy. I was kind of like the Clark Griswold. I had to go big, had to go huge. You know, my house, you know, just like in Deck the Halls, I wanted it to be seen from space. Got fake skeletons decorated in bows and stuff. That's what you know what? And honestly, there was a house in Kitty Cat. Did you notice they took the skeletons down? That's troublesome to think about because that's been their shtick. They do it during summer, winter, fall. Those skeletons are up all year, and they're always doing something. Like, you know, in the summertime, they're mowing. In fall, they're raking leaves, and obviously Halloween, they're scary. And then of course, right around Thanksgiving, I can't remember what they do for Thanksgiving, but they always decorate them for Christmas and stuff like that. I'm not opposed to that. I love it. I think it's fun. And honestly, Kat, we need to figure out something for Whiskey Willie here. We need to decorate him up a little bit, and we need to do a little bit of festivities here for Christmas, which I do have a tree inside. But, you know, anyways, back to what I was saying. You know, instead of doing the big, you know, icicle lights outside around the porch because it's a pain in the ass because I got this weird sized porch. And the lights they hang down so damn low that I felt bad for the mailman the first time I did it because he'd literally have to sit there and go like this to get, you know, through the lights. And so now I'll put I'll put a snowman and some reindeer out front. We put candles in the window. The wife has put a wreath in the window, and I came up with this great idea, and it looked great last year. We found a lantern with a candle. It's got a timer on it, so it goes on at night. It stays on for about 4 hours, 5 hours, and then it goes out. Inside, we keep it simple. Again, I was that guy that had to go throughout the house and put all the lights around the walls and everything. And I had like 100 feet of lights, and they would always be bunched up in one spot because I'd have too much. It was just, I'd hang the garland, and then it was kind of like, especially now that we have cats, we've got the perfect mantle. Sarah builds this awesome little winter wonderland. She has all these porcelain houses, fake snow, trees. It looks amazing. And again, cats like to play. We're still waiting to see how this one's going to react because he's already gotten into, we've got a tree with fake snow on it, pre-lit. And they went ahead and, Sarah's gone ahead and put lights up. But instead of doing like, the 1.5 million different, ornaments, we've kind of toned it down a little bit. Now it's kind of like, here, we'll do like reds one year, maybe blues another year. And, we just keep it simple. So again, I've said this before, guys, sometimes less is best. And last year, not gonna lie, we've got people up the street. Let me tell you this much. If you were to see their house, they have money. And they've got little fir pines in their yard. They light it up. It looks great. They light the driveway. Like I said, less is best. I think it looks, I think it looks good. So on that note, I think we will go ahead and wrap this episode up. I will be going on TikTok for a short spell. We'll go ahead and, like I said, guys, we're going to keep the fundraiser going. We didn't do half bad Monday night. Now, I did not get a chance to go on last night. It was, obviously, you saw how late we came on tonight. Work is running me like a dog right now. So trying to rush home, do my normal routine, plus eat and get out here in time is a pain. That's where, I especially love Kitty Cat because when things are running smooth, she's already out here, got everything set up. All I got to do is come out and do my short promo video, and we're ready to rock most of the time. Most of the time. But on that note, guys, I will be posting, make sure you're watching on Facebook. I will be posting Miss Kitty Cat's QR code. It could be $1, guys. It could be $5. It doesn't matter. We do have a goal. There's no time limit. We're just going to do the best we can until we can get her vehicle back on the road. So every little bit helps, guys. Everything we do on TikTok is going directly to Kat. Like I said the other night, we did that. That was a nice little start. That really was. So if you know anybody, let's hit the ground running, guys, on the next one. On that note, guys, make sure you check us out tomorrow night for our Thirsty Thursday Thoughts and Shots Sports Edition. We are up to the college divisional championships. Can't wait. Looking forward to it. We got our Sunday night weekend hangover. Hopefully at some point here we will have Miss Kitty Cat back in here. Miss Sweetie, I miss you and I love you so much. And of course we got our Monday night bartender. Monday night was fun, guys. The bar's starting to fill up. It doesn't just have to be on bartender night, guys. I mean, anytime you want to join me at the bar to sit down and just talk and have a few drinks, hey, the bar's always open. And of course, we round it all back out with our Wednesday night open bar. Thank you, Miss J, for popping in. Kitty Cat, Blue, Dan, Our boy Lavender KD joined in for a second. GB, he popped in and said hello. Guys, everybody, awesome seeing you, awesome talking to you. But all good things come to an end. For those of you that are on TikTok, I will see you in about 5-10 minutes max. Let's get the ball rolling. Make sure you're sharing it and letting it be known. Guys, make sure you're sharing and liking on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We are on all of it. The link tree is in the bio. Always fun, always unpredictable, but everything we say on this show is just our opinion. But then again, it just might be the alcohol talking. Guys, you have a good night. We will see you soon.
Thank you for stopping in and listening to the Another Shot podcast. We shared some drinks, stories, and laughs. But it's time to say goodnight. Join us next time on Another Shot podcast.
If you're looking for a party, then man, have you found it? Now the shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Now the shot is gonna hit you with the mind overloading. The bar is always open, but no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Just remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking.